What's up everyone, we made it to Friday. I've got a lovely weekend planned full of Baldur's Gate 3 and then taking little walks to play Pikmin Bloom because I am obsessed with that game. If you play, please add me. But anyways, back to the news. I'm Stella Chung, and in today's fix, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to be exclusive to the PS5 for at least 3 months. Massive layoffs hit the studio behind Immortals of AVM, and we have the details on why employees at Ubisoft Montreal are incredibly unhappy with a recent decision. Yesterday, Sony held its September State of Play and revealed a brand new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that announced a release date of February 29, 2024. At the end of the trailer, there was a note that this exclusive would not be available on other formats until at least May 29, 2024. Since Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's release date is for February, this means that Sony and Square Enix have a deal for at least 3 months of exclusivity. As a little recap, thanks to our reporter Wesley Yin Poole, the first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake launched in April 2020 on the PlayStation 4. Then the enhanced Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade launched on PS5 in June 2021 and on PC in December 2021. So that was about 6 months before Intergrade launched on a different platform. I'll definitely take 3 months of waiting over 6, but Final Fantasy fans have a lot to look forward to, and in the Sony State of Play, Square released a ton of information about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, including that it has 100 hours of content. Producer Yoshinori Kitase also wrote a letter to fans on social media that the game will feature a vast world map and that the story will unfold more dramatically than ever before. Director Naoki Hamaguchi also chimed in to say Rebirth will feature fun minigames, free exploration, and so much more. Now, unfortunately, your save files from the previous game will not carry over. Hamaguchi explained that each of the Final Fantasy VII Remake project titles are meant to be standalone games, so the abilities and levels will not carry over from one game to the next. However, players will be given special bonuses if they played the previous game. Xbox Final Fantasy fans are probably going to be waiting a little bit longer specifically for Final Fantasy VII Remake titles, though Xbox boss Phil Spencer did tease that this game, along with Final Fantasy XVI, could launch on Xbox in the future when he spoke to IGN's Destin Legary at Gamescom. The future honestly looks so bright for Final Fantasy fans everywhere. The magic-focused first-person shooter Immortals of AVM was just released late last month, and today, we got word that its developer, Ascendant Studios, has laid off nearly half its staff. CEO Brett Robbins took to X to post an update on the situation. Robbins stated, "Today we are heartbroken as we part ways with friends and colleagues at Ascendant Studios, about 45% of our team. This was a painfully difficult but necessary decision that was not lightly made. Nevertheless, we have to make this adjustment now that Immortals of AVM has shipped." Robbins also went on to say that those affected were given severance packages and job placement assistance, and that if any other studios needed Unreal Engine 5 artists or engineers to reach out to him for introductions. Polygon reported that this layoff was due to poor sales of Immortals of AVM and were necessary to keep the studio open. Around 40 people total were laid off, which means their smaller dev team of about 90 were cut down even more. Immortals of AVM didn't have a disastrous reception. It was actually met with mixed reviews from players and is at a 65 on PC from Metacritic, 70 on PS5, and 75 on Xbox. IGN's reviewer gave it an 8 out of 10. But this year has been stacked with massive game releases, many of which are from established franchises, so a brand new IP from a brand new studio had a lot working against it. Our heart goes out to those affected by the layoffs, and hopefully everyone can find work quickly. Ubisoft Montreal announced that employees will be returning to the office starting September 11th, and employees are not happy about the decision, at least partially because it contradicts the studio's previous remote work policy. As reported by Rebecca Valentine here at IGN, there were a number of comments on the situation across multiple Ubisoft internal postings, which included over 270 comments on the announcement post, almost all of which being negative. Grievances include noisy calls in an open office, increased expenses, and a lack of insufficient equipment or accommodations that employees had access to prior to the work from home situation. But the frustration with the decision to return to office extends beyond just those issues. Recently, Ubisoft had layoffs, game cancellations, and abuse allegations that brewed internal frustrations, which have seemingly come to a head with this mandated office return. Ubisoft's push to return to the office was first initiated in summer 2021. This didn't happen and employees were told repeatedly since then that they would remain 100% remote long term. With this assurance, many employees understandably made major life decisions and moves, assuming they would work remotely for the foreseeable future. Ubisoft had promised in a document on their company intranet that they would have a hybrid, flexible working environment where 100% remote work will be possible depending on various criteria, such as productivity and impact on the team, as well as the nature of the work being done. But of course that's changing, and starting earlier this week, Montreal employees are expected to work a minimum of 2 days a week out of the office, which is mandatory for all employees. The only exceptions would be for employees with explicit needs, once all other solutions have been explored. Obviously, this sparked anger within the studio, and a handful of employees brought up the Montreal office quality with past issues, like leaks, rats, bugs, and the lack of actual office perks. I also think they mean leaks and bugs in the literal drippy, creepy, crawly sense, not accidental revealed games or software glitches, though we know Ubisoft is not a stranger to those kinds either. Health concerns about COVID were raised as well. When IGN reached out to Ubisoft for a comment on the story, we received the following statement in response. Like many companies in entertainment and tech, we are asking our colleagues to come back to the office for key moments identified by each team. We're convinced that the synergy, in-person discussions, rapid iterations, and a sense of belonging that happens more in person will help us be more effective and agile together and achieve our business goals. First announced early in June, the hybrid mode goes into place on Monday, September 11th, and we are accompanying our colleagues through those changes, giving them additional flexibility over the next 8 weeks or more to adapt. Open and ongoing conversations in addition to extensive individual accommodation and arrangements are currently underway to ease this transition and the impact on everyone's well-being, which remains our priority to continue to deliver great games. These might seem like minor complaints, but considering the push for better working conditions we've seen across the games and entertainment industries, Ubisoft's decision could backfire if it pushes employees too far. We'll keep you posted on this story as it develops. And there you have it, you're all caught up for gaming news this Friday. If you're looking for something else to watch after this, check out our video of Mortal Kombat 1 and all fatal blows with the starting roster. It's pretty gross. And of course, you can look up our guide to find all the button prompts for MK1 fatalities. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I'm Stella Chung, keep on gaming, and I'll see you next time.